G'day umps, it's Neil Murray here with a presentation for you on match reporting for sub-district umpires. This has general information. It'll be of greatest value to new umpires. However, it also addresses the responses to some questions that have arisen from more experienced umpires from time to time. The thing to remember is we are an online reporting organisation, and for us as umpires that's tremendously beneficial because there's no paperwork and there's a quick clean-up of the day's play. It should take no more than a few minutes after when the day's play ends. I mean, the balance of that, of course, is that there's a responsibility for us to ensure the reports are submitted and in a timely manner. And we get till 8 o'clock on Monday following the match to complete the match reports. But as you'll see, they're very simple to complete, and there's really no reason why they shouldn't be finished on the night of the game. It's very straightforward with just one proviso, that the place you locate the match report is at mycricketadmin.cricket.com.au. Sometimes umpires call and they've logged on to mycricket.com.au and they can't see where to put their reports in. That's not the site. The site you need to be on is mycricketadmin.cricket.com.au, and when you get there, it's all pretty straightforward. Upon login, you'll see a screen something like this. I've truncated the head a bit of the screen here, but it gives your name, your cricket ID, and Victorian Sub-District Cricket Association is listed up on the top of the slide as well. Now, sometimes umpires will say, oh look, I can't put my report in because they're not there. And when we go back and look at that, we'll see that quite often this is because the umpire's profile is not the Victorian Sub-District Cricket Association profile. So we all as umpires, most of us have played cricket or we've been involved in cricket clubs and other organisations, and MyCricket carries a profile for us through our entire cricketing life. So quite often we'll see when we go back and look where an umpire can't submit a report, and we'll find the profile is actually defaulting to their old club profile. So mine might say Moorabbin Cricket Club. So if that's the case, it's very easily fixed. You simply go down, look below those, the pink and the blue squares in the middle of the slide there, you'll see a long blue envelope that says your current and previous organisations. Click on that and you'll get a selection there will appear of all of your organisations. From that, you just select the Victorian Sub-District Cricket Association. That will recreate the profile, and then you'll have the ability to enter reports exactly as per this slide. So here we're going to click on match reports, and when we do, we see this type of slide comes up with, once again, our name, the Sub-District Cricket Association, and then a list of the games for which we may edit reports. Now, only our games are listed there. Only the games to which I've appointed you will be there. And in this case, we'll pick on the second 11 St Bernard's versus Hoppers Crossing. You simply click on the edit report, and when you do that, you open up a screen which has it's a bit longer than this. I've cut it up just so we can see it in some more detail. And this screen is called Enter Umpire's Report. It starts off with listing the game. It's round 2 and the two combatants there, St Bernard's and Hoppers Crossing. And where we get involved for the first time is in the playing times. And the only thing to mention here is that the playing times are the clock starting and finishing times. So the match starts at 12:30, finishes at 5:17. Match starts at 1 o'clock, finishes at 6:02. They're the actual times as per the clock that the match started and the match completed. And it just needs to be careful that it needs to go in the form and in the format that's on that slide there, which is hours, digit, colon, digit, space, PM. So if you just overtype the numbers there that are in the box with the correct numbers, you'll find that you'll be okay. But if it doesn't come in that format, of course, you'll get an error response. After putting in the start and finishing times, you then move to the actual innings times, and here the two teams are listed in home club, away club order, and you simply enter the actual elapsed time for the innings. Now, for the start and finish times above, we use the clock time. for this part of the report, we use the elapsed time. So if you think, say, that St Bernard's might have batted first, started at 12:30 and finished at 3:05, that's 155 minutes. And you'd put that time in there, 155 minutes. Hoppers Crossing, say, started at 3:25 and went till, say, 6 p.m. That's also 155 minutes, you'd enter that. You'd enter the actual elapsed time. And the only other thing to do here is, was there any lost time? And that can occur through injury, or the ball landed in the creek, or a whole lot of things could go on. And if there is any lost time, it's simply entered under the elapsed time. Nothing more to do. My Cricket will then calculate the over rates, and that's where we finish. We go down below over rates to player votes, and you'll see a section there. Click here to enter votes. We'll deal with that later. I just cut it to make it a bit bigger so we can read it. We'll deal with this after we complete the match report. After the player votes, we move to that part of the match report. It's directly beneath that, which deals with player behaviour and spirit of cricket. And here is where we make known that we provided the all clear to clubs after day one. So assuming that there were no reports, no player mentions and nothing else, that the all clear was given, we just click yes. If there was a player mention or a report, or a player was mentioned, or there was any behaviour that needed to be addressed on the field, it could be just briefly summarised in the box below. And if a player's behaviour was such to warrant mention, well then that would go in the name and club of any mentioned player. Just for new umpires, the word mentioned here has a technical meaning. In our rules, we provide for this system of mentioning players whose behaviour is not what's required, and behaviour that is not addressed. And the player is given a mention if they exhibit poor behaviour that's not addressed, and that's recorded by our CEO, Mr. Hilton. And if a player were to receive 2 mentions throughout the season, they're automatically charged with misconduct. So it's an avenue where umpires can, without going to a full report, can make the association aware that a player's behaviour is unacceptable. Spirit of cricket. Now, with the spirit of cricket, at the start of the day, both teams are on 10 as far as we're concerned, and then you would adjust that accordingly as the up and down, according to whether there's over exuberant chat or sledging or any other matter which may lead you to believe that the spirit of cricket was not perfect. Then we move from there down to the report which deals with the ground and the playing surfaces. Now, this is a check the box thing, but it's absolutely essential that this be done thoroughly and accurately. This is our attention to bring matters to the attention of our CEO and the executive on things that would perhaps could be improved about the grounds, or need to be improved about the grounds. So just simply answer the question: is the surface free from debris, including pegs, dart to dart? Yes. Are the sprinkler heads in place? Is the perimeter fence, including signage, gates, safe with the boundary clearly marked? Yes. Are there any other matters? Perhaps no. And then we go on to the pitch ratings. Before we do that, the question about is the perimeter fence clearly marked? One of the things that that is good practice, and our best umpires do, all umpires should do, is when they go out to the ground for the first time the day before the toss and they're making sure the ground is fit for play, the perimeter needs to be walked. So you can do it together, or one can go east and one can go west. How you manage that is entirely up to you, perhaps depending upon the time available. And the purpose of that walk is to ensure that the cones are in place, the boundary is clearly marked, the 3 metre boundary is there. And that means that you'll be able to accurately say on here that you did check the boundary. So then we go to the pitch rating, and the outfield rating. In terms of pitch rating, that's another subject altogether. But basically, the questions you ask yourself: was it a fair surface to play on? Now, these ratings go back to councils and curators for their feedback. So please be accurate and please be understanding of the job that they do for us. Bear in mind, this is not, we're playing one-day games in Melbourne suburbs. We're not playing on test pitches. But the pitch, you would give a pitch a very good rating if it was flat, if it was hard, it was evenly grassed and provided an even contest between bat and ball. Where the mark would tend to be a bit lower would be if the bounce was variable, if the grass was patchy, if there was something else that made the contest a bit uneven. Ditto for the outfield. The key thing with the outfield, was it evenly grassed? Were the bounces consistent throughout the day? And as I said, those comments do go off to the curators and councils for their feedback. And if anything were to require addressing, it could be commented on in that area there that says, please insert any comments relating to pitch and or outfield. And of course, the last part of that was the boundary checked? That's what I was speaking about before. At the start, when you first go to the ground, look at the pitch and then start and have your walk around the perimeter to making sure that the 3 metre boundary restrictions and everything was correct. Then down to the end of the final part of the report, Kookaburra balls were used. Yes, Kookaburra studs were used. Any comments on the ball? We're playing 40 over games. There'll be probably very little commentary this year on ball. Were the umpires, when we get the umpires' change rooms back, were they in a fit condition? And then any other comments that might be there. This could be about any aspect of the game that you feel the executive would like to or should know about. And the moment you've done that, you simply use the submit button down on the bottom right hand corner, and then you'll get advice that the report's been submitted. Thanks very much. And you can go from there then back to the player votes and enter your player votes. And as I said, I've just broken this out, that part of the match report out in large text so we can all see it. You simply click on the here and you're presented with a screen such as this. And you'll notice that whereas the previous screens knew your match, this one doesn't. So you need to identify the match for which you're going to report and the player votes. So you select from the award with the first, second, and third 11, first, second, third, and fourth 11 award from Val Holton through to Teddy Plant awards, and the grade north, west, first 11, second 11, or whatever, and then you select go. Now, when you press go, that doesn't get you to where you want to go either. You're likely to receive a screen such as this. Now, I've selected the James Earl medal for the second 11, which is correct. I've selected the North and West second 11, which is correct, which is where Hoppers Crossing and St Bernard's play. But when the screen, when you've selected this and press go, the response screen, this one we're looking at now, does not necessarily locate your game. In fact, it defaults to the first mentioned game on the in the fixture. That happens in this case to be Williamstown and Werribee. So you click the arrows to the side of Williamstown and Werribee, and you'll get a selection response such as this, and you can pick the correct game, which is St Bernard's versus Coburg. Well, in this case, it's another round. Sorry, but you select the game that you want, and then you're presented with a screen with some instructions about issuing the 6 votes, the 3-2 and the 1 votes. Beneath that yellow square there will be a list of the players from each team, and you simply go through, and in the box beside them you write the 3-2 and 1 votes. You press update, and your match report is done. Just simple as that. And that's taken us 10 or 12 minutes to get through the presentation. But in fact, to complete the match report will take you only a couple of minutes once you're practiced with it. So don't forget, get them in on time, no later than Monday following the match. Enjoy your cricket. Don't forget to have fun.